All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Axie Chat. Here we go. Special day, special day.
Is it special? Yesterday was the special day. What's going on
Yeah, I
today,
guess I
baronar?
guess that's true. Nothing much is happening today. Well, maybe that's not
It's
true. I
uh, it's
actually was
it's
looking at
Axie Chat day.
it's Axie Chat day. But honestly, I was looking at my stuff on the dashboard, and there was a little bit of stuff that surprised me. And I don't know if people are looking carefully or not, but I have a couple things. I guess we'll see if
All
everybody
right.
else has noticed them too. And yeah, should be should be
Well, we
interesting.
we know you've got a slide for that. So, um,
I do. We'll get
yeah,
to it for sure.
hey, I wanted to give everybody a little peek behind the curtain as to how these things usually roll out because I know we're running a few minutes late today, and I swear to God that I was going to be the one causing it. Normally, how we set these things up is, you know, Monday, Tuesday rolls around. Me and Baronar are passing back info that happened over the course of the week. We, go through a sheet that kind of outlines what we're going to talk about. Um, I I don't know. This week was a little bit different, so we'll see how this turns out. But Baronar, usually completely disregards everything I send him prior and comes out with his little slideshow, and then we just figure it out. Today, I had absolutely zero to do with the presentation today, so we'll see what he came up with for us.
I think that that's
Um,
just your
I,
disclaimer this week, man. We'll see how it goes, but
it,
yeah, yeah,
Perfect. All right,
yeah.
well,
It's
let's
all
just
good.
dive in, huh? We got a lot to talk about.
We do, and I can't imagine what we'll actually talk that much about, but I guess we'll see how things go.
Oh, I
I
can't
hate.
imagine.
I have no idea what we might be talking about. But yeah, so I got it up here again. The gas station, looking at gas, man,
Insane this week.
just crazy. And I'm worried that until we
Insane.
get ETH 2 or some other solution, like so long as the price of Ethereum's on the rise, gas is going to continue to be high. And there's plenty of good reasons for that. The DeFi space, everything. I mean, when people are interested in what's happening with Ethereum, gas is just naturally going to be high until we can come up with different solutions, proof of authority, different things that can help that out. So we're just kind of stuck.
Ronan. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ronin
Did
solves
you try and
everything
make
for
any
Axie.
purchases?
What was that?
Did you try and make any purchases this week? Any
You mean
NFT purchases?
you mean just in general NFTs? Um,
In general, Axie or otherwise.
I did buy one, but it was oh yeah, no, I did. I bought a an Origin this week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the reason I was asking is if you stayed away from making any purchases this week because of the high gas, um, I think it's just worth noting because, again, yesterday was an important day. We had the official launch of Ronin. Obviously, there's still got to be a lot of work done. But the main reason this is important is because of this gas. And I made a few purchases over the course of the week, and the gas was, anywhere between $30 and $70 just to get a transfer.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I guess I,
so
I did mess around with some DeFi stuff. I finally decided I needed to learn what the hell that's all about. So I did do that, and I figure that if I leave that stuff in my kind of DeFi scheme, I did kind of some synthetics and a couple things. If I leave that for about a
mhm.
year or more, maybe I'll make back the gas fees. So there's that. That's good.
But I guess my point is, people are out there spending $70 a transaction. At this point, that's twice the cost of an Axie. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
that's why we're so excited about Ronin coming out.
Yeah.
And again, I know you've got a slide, so we'll move on.
No, dude, it's all good. So let's talk about the non-fungible slides. It's always worth going through this information. So again, this is wallet activity. Amazingly, like ENS, Ethereum name service, topped the active addresses this time. Not surprisingly, Axie's on the
Hmm.
chart, but surprisingly again, but I guess not surprising from what we just talked about, it's way below where it should be. It probably should be honestly like 100 times what it is. 90,000 transactions. That's what I would think it would be if we weren't dealing with gas.
Yeah, I
We
mean, it was what,
we
like
had it up in
60,
the 50s and
70,000 before that.
60s. Yep, yep, yeah. So
But again, we're only looking at the Ethereum chain. You know, the other interesting thing, I'm wondering with the ENS Ethereum name service, does that count just transfers to, and like my Enjoi.eth wallet?
I'm
Are
not
are
quite
or is
sure.
that actual purchases? Because all that's touching
Yeah,
the
it's a
contract
good
in
point.
some way. So I'm wondering if that counts as an active address. In which case, there's a lot of people using those.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Or if there's just been so much more attention on the Ethereum space, um, companies, various people who see themselves being more involved in the space decide they want to snatch up a name. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why. I didn't see any specific news that would have made me think, oh, hey, ENS is going nuts. But there it is. So Axie
Yeah, I
Infinity,
mean,
yeah,
it. I was just gonna say it and unstoppable domains have been on the list for,
yeah,
I think, as long as we've been doing this. So not surprising by any means, but
yeah, yeah. Yeah, not too surprising, but there it is. The hard thing is seeing the number of the active addresses for Axie Infinity, knowing what it would be if we weren't hampered right now. So moving on to volume, and this is another one where the gas fees. I don't even. How does So Rare hit 8,000 transactions during this week period? So this is up through January 25th. I mean, think of the cost of those transactions. Wow. I mean, I haven't got on So Rare, so I don't know for sure how the football the football thing works. But man, that seems expensive.
yep. And I was thinking about that too. I'm still surprised we're not seeing any NBA Top Shots on here. Although I guess that's, I don't know, kind of unrelated. But you know, an interesting thing is going to happen with the space, and is starting to happen. And we've seen So Rare on the top of this list for this, the last several weeks. Um, you know, these sports teams are kind of building on the traction that they've already got within their markets, right? And NBA is a huge market, soccer is a huge market, football. Sorry, guys, over the pond. Um, but they're able to quickly and easily. It's they don't have to explain what this is. Collectibles have always been hot with sports. So bringing those people in and converting them to a new way to collect their favorite players, or their favorite moments in the case of NBA Top Shots, it's an easy case to make. And I'm bringing that up because I want to talk about it later, but I think that we're going to see that across the board with all of these projects. I saw 2 years ago, Steph Curry was trying to get his own, branded crypto kitty.
Yeah.
Somebody hit me up in chat to talk about that today. We saw this week, Soldier Boy partnered with Lux, those little credit cards.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban was
The
showing
Lux stuff.
NFTs that he made. So I think we're going to keep seeing these name brand people and teams and groups coming into this space and trying to figure out how to, one, kind of recreate themselves in this new crypto world. But two, I think it's going to open a lot of opportunity for things like Axie. We were talking about Sandbox the other week, and they
Right.
partnered with Care Bears and Smurfs and all this other stuff. Same sort of deal. So once we get that SDK, I think that's going to apply here. But also Axie's partnered with all of these different groups in the past, and they've
Right.
been very careful to partner with groups bigger than them. So like Aave at the time, you know, uh, MakerDAO way back when, whatever. Every time they kind of level up until they outgrow that previous crowd. And I think it's going to be very soon when we start seeing Axie partnering with, maybe brands or, these teams. I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to get really interesting really fast because we're seeing this whole thing grow very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And it maybe is a good time. You talked about Lux. Talked about a few things. There's the hash masks that's hitting really hard right now too. I know different people have different opinions about that, but man, it's making waves. It's just taken off really quickly. Tons and tons of value in the hash masks right away. I think it's a really neat strategy. My biggest worry is it seems very reproducible. Seems like something that could be done multiple times, and I guess I worry. I mean, you get like the name change token, which is cool, so it automatically kind of comes with a DeFi style of token generation. Just owning a mask allows you to generate the name change token over time. I mean, it's cool. I'm not against it at all. I think it's fantastic, but I'm still not quite sure why we had 100 ETH transaction for hash masks.
And
I maybe it's
well,
art. I
I
don't.
know why. It's because it's because Danny, who
Excitement.
was an early Axie user, loves to drop money on on things that he think are going to be big and the rarest of the rare.
Yeah.
Which again goes back to Axie. You know, the interesting thing about hash masks is it's literally just a formula that again CryptoKitties started,
Yep.
Axie copied. I mean, didn't copy, but they built on.
Built on. Yeah, I think that's completely
Crypto.
fair.
Well, I guess you could say CryptoPunk started it. I know I get a lot of hate after every single one of these episodes because I don't spout my
You
NFT
don't give
history
the
properly.
love
But
for.
but my point is yeah. But my point is that we keep seeing this pattern over and over and over again, right? It's literally the same pattern. It's it's this cryptographically reproduced rarity. That's probably not the right way to say that
Well,
either,
no, but I
but
know what you're
you
talking
know,
about
if
because
we're seeing these,
yeah, we saw it in the early cryptocurrency stuff too. You keep getting all these different chains, Feather Coin, Barbecue Coin, blah 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 coin,
right,
all this sort of stuff. They're just copied and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And I'm not. I mean, I think hash masks are innovative and good art and neat and
sure,
good rarity concepts. But again, I'm having a hard time seeing like the end game for those. And I've probably
right,
missed the boat.
and
I looked at it when it was what point three to get them, and I just was like, I just don't
same.
get this. It doesn't make sense to me. So, but oh well.
And my point is kind of we've seen Axie's one and the same. They're family as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned. It's the
yeah, sure.
same strategy, but once 100 of these are built, and once they're iterated on 100 times, what keeps people going back to hash masks versus whatever the next big one is, and the next
Or
big one, and the
versus
next big one,
Axie, or
and
versus CryptoPunks, or yeah, no, I mean that's a great point. What does, and I think we have some things to talk about there, but
well, and the benefit for Axie is utility, and it's
oh, you mean
the
things like
gameplay
Ronin?
and,
You
and all
mean
this other
things
stuff.
like a team that's behind it that's actually improving its usefulness over time? That I mean that has a tokenomics idea that incorporates play to earn into it, that's already in process and already planned out, that no other NFT project has anything close to, as far as I can tell, unless somebody's missed it and I've been looking. Anyway,
Man, you were ready to go there. All right, next
yeah, I've
slide.
been thinking about this stuff a lot, man. I think it's awesome. One of these days I'm gonna degen with y'all. But for now, I'm an Axie faithful.
Axie
So.
Maxie.
All right. So here we go. Like, look at that CryptoPunks, my friend. Look at that stuff. So we're looking at the USD
Yes, sir.
transfers. Axie makes the chart barely in both categories here. Fifth place on both sides. Decentraland is fourth place on both sides. And then we have super rare and so rare. One's art, one's football. Flipping spots on the two different sides, but they're 2 and 3, so who cares? Well, I guess actually it matters
Yep.
quite a bit. Super rare is 2 million on the USD transfer. That's a lot more than so rare at under 1 million. But CryptoPunks, man, on this chart making giant waves, 1.8 more than that million USD from sales, and then on USD transferred on CryptoPunks. And again, I've never really fully understood the difference on these two columns, but almost 7.5 million USD transfers on the CryptoPunks. So, but again, Axie's still making a
Yep.
great showing. This is a weekly amount, so Axie, 350,000 on sales and over 500,000 on USD transferred. And again, this doesn't include land or land items, and there have been some major land and land item transfers here in sales. So
Yeah. And again, I think that all of this just it speaks to the how much future we have to look forward to with Axie, right? One of our big issues right now is liquidity in the space, and more people are coming in. With the help of So Rare and NBA Top Shots, and even CryptoPunks is trying to make its name as the Bitcoin of NFTs or whatever. Those people are still yet to explore the space. They're coming in because they're being indoctrinated by something that they already know. And once they figure out what else is out there and what else is coming, I think we're in for a tidal wave in the next couple months.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You can stay out of chat. I
Oh
got
yes. Oh
Cloud White.
sorry.
Don't
Yeah.
worry
You.
about him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, when Cloud talks, man, I pay attention. I love hearing what Cloud has to say. And thanks for the subs, Odin and Britt. That was so awesome of you. So thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it. And just awesome. Appreciate the support of the stream and everything everybody does to listen to the podcasts and hang out with Enjoi on Axie Edge. Just great information. I find myself going there fairly regularly, and not just to pull up the podcasts, but to look at good information that you've compiled for us, my man. Um,
Oh, you.
so hey,
Yo,
Axis
Axis on a tear.
just on a tear.
We're
So
blowing up.
yeah, week to week here, almost a buck. That's pretty awesome to have kind of a consistent performance. It actually popped over a buck. It's actually down recently here. It was kind of
Yep.
solid at 98, 99 cents, and then it's kind of tapered just a little bit. But man, I know some people did really good with Axis, buying a bunch early, which is wonderful and such an awesome thing. I just you have to wonder like how can Axis continue to fluctuate down and up when there's just such an incredible upside for Axis. Staking is going to come soon. This quarter, if I remember right, or is it quarter two? It's coming soon. I can't remember on the white paper right
Q
now.
Q2.
Yeah, Q2. But I
Q2.
mean that's still within months, guys. I mean that's within 4 months at the longest. So and I think we do have to give some flexibility to the team. I know they're making good decisions rather than just pushing stuff out. So even if that's a flexible date, that's okay too. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it happens sooner and earlier. But got to remember, like these are innovations that have not been created before. Really, I mean they're trying to combine a gaming technology together with a token technology on a blockchain, doing things that have never been done before, and so I like to see deadlines hit. It bothers me when they're not, but on the other hand, like these guys are, I don't know, doing something that's never been done before. So you never know what type of innovation is going to be required, what type of creativity is going to be necessary in order to do something that's never been done before. So I love to see what
Yeah,
Axis is
and
doing. It's only going to get better.
speaking of that hitting deadlines, I know you were a little sour that they didn't release the first version of Ronin, back at the end of the year last year because that's
Yep.
that's what the roadmap says.
Right.
But I gotta say, after getting this thing implemented and moving my stuff over, and there were a couple snags that I had probably just because I'm stupid and have too many tabs open, and about a thousand different Chrome applications or whatever the frick they're called.
Well, I think if you're in
Um,
crypto, you just
but
quadruple or quintuple how many tabs you have open.
Oh my God,
It's
all
just the
those Web3 websites. Um,
yep.
but
And I'm up
but
to
it made me
32
realize
gigs
like
of
how
RAM now too, man. I can't stand not having the resources. So
right. But it made me think. You know, I was holding my breath when I hit that transfer button.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
things went wrong, it would have screwed up the entire thing that they've been building for years. Like
yeah,
this was completely a better safe than sorry. Let's cross our T's, let's dot our I's, let's draw the little,
yeah,
we'll draw everything in cursive. Like they needed to make this thing launch right. Otherwise, I mean, think about how many people have just general tech issues because they're not used to crypto. And now we're telling them to use a different wallet, move their stuff over. It was very important that they get this right. So I'm okay with the month long delay on this one, and
yeah.
hopefully moving Axie's over now that the baseline's met.
Right.
Um, it'll be a little bit easier, and we can roll that out quicker.
Well, and I know some people had some struggles, but I have quite a bit of land and I have quite a bit of items, and I don't know. I guess I just kind of got maybe lucky. I don't know, but I clicked the button, and I don't give a crap about what the little progress bar says. I'm looking at the actual chain. You know, I'm looking at the actual transactions, and it was like that for me. Everything just transferred almost instantaneously. I refreshed the dashboard page and it was just boom. I mean, that's what I want to see. And that made me really, really happy. I'm happy to wait a month to have it work like that when you have the level of so again like and this is not a flex. This is not the point. I'm just saying I have over 500 lands and 4,800 land items. To have those transfer like that quickly, that smoothly, made me happy. Really, really happy. You know.
Must have been that 32 RAM.
Yeah, I don't know if it had anything to do with my computer. I just assumed it was the blockchain, but to me it seems like Ronan's just clicking along. I do get in the Explorer and look, you know, the blocks are just coming up like crazy, and so awesome
Oh
to
man,
see it just
it looks good.
yep
It looks good.
clicking along.
Yeah, and me personally, and again, I know you have a slide on this, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. But me personally, I'm really looking forward to once we can start trading on there and actually watching all of those transactions going through.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
that's when it starts getting serious for me.
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, we can't really do much with the wallet yet. We still haven't had the ability to do any transfers or anything. We don't have you know, the ability to do much with the wallet other than just hold our assets just right now. But stuff is coming, and yeah, we'll talk more about it. Um, SLP, I don't know how you feel about this, but my feeling about this is it's finally getting back up into where it probably should be, just based on Axie prices.
Yep.
I think it was depressed, and I understand all the reasons why it was depressed. And it may not stay here. It may go back to being depressed until we see Axies on the Ronin chain, or some miracle happens and gas somehow lets go of its iron grip on us all. But I feel like this is more in range, maybe even just a little bit low for what really SLP should be. I have this feeling once Axies are on the Ronin chain, maybe I shouldn't say this stuff. Oh well, I say it. I don't care. Um, uh, I think we're going to see an SLP drought, to be honest. I think people are going to burn the crap out of their SLP. It's going to be a weird, wild ride. I don't know exactly how that's going to go. But we will. I don't see that there's any way we're going to have an Axie heyday. There's going to be a ton of Axies, and SLP is going to end up being a little bit thin. Is my feeling. So we'll see how that goes. It could be really good
Sure.
for the play to earn people. They could probably pick up some Axies if it goes that way. If there's kind of a surplus of Axies, and then SLP has a rise, then that will make it really good and people can own their own teams. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what we need. Adoption, 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 explosive growth.
Uh,
That's what we're after. That's
100%.
what we
Yeah,
want.
I was going to make the same comment. You know, there's people who farm SLP to sell it immediately because it's, you know, a way to pay bills, or, you know, spread your risk around and invest in other things, or whatever. And then there's people who farm SLP because they want to breed. And you know, I'm not even talking like big time breeders like Yak or AK.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like myself, who barely ever breeds, but you know, once we're on Ronin and you know the costs are down, I would
Why
love
wouldn't you?
to start moving these things around. But
Right.
right, I mean, I've also got a bunch of land I got to fill with land dwellers in this. Um, but
Well,
you
I
know,
guess we'll
the
find out,
important
right?
thing here, right? But the important thing here again is, you know, we're building this play to earn economy, and if it's not worth it to play to earn, you know, I mean, obviously the game's got to be fun, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, at some point, no matter what, it becomes a grind. So if it's not worth it to grind out for the play to earn, can we really call it a play to earn? You know,
Yeah,
if
right.
the money's not there, is it really, you know, if it's just dust, is it really play to earn?
Well, if
And
that if
you know,
I
I
mean
think
if it goes that way,
between
then
that,
yeah, then we're all screwed and this has
well,
been a fun
between
ride.
Well, I think a fun game could still make it,
Yeah,
but it kind of defeats part of the purpose. But I think SLP being around 3 to 5 cents is where that starts getting
right,
interesting. Back where it was a couple weeks ago at 1.5, it's just not worth it for most people. So
right.
um, yeah, I love seeing this popping back up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and again, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who runs those scholar programs. I've messed around recently with just offering a few to the general public. I usually don't, but what a good thing people are doing. I know that people have different opinions about it and everything, but at least there's some pathway for people to try to do it. I mean, you look at even just putting together a team. So if I were to just transfer Axies to create an account right now, I think it would cost me almost $150. So again, like that, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not creating more accounts, but I guess I'm just saying like there was somebody in chat wanting to just purchase 3 Axies, right? And it looks like if you look at the floor, you could do it for, you know, 0.12, which is, probably reasonable. But then all of a sudden you're adding all the gas fees on top of it. And it gets to the point where, I mean, I just checked on Axie Tree, which again, shout out to Axie Tree. What a great idea. What a great concept. But, it costs $47 to borrow a team. So, that's a tough way to enter into the Axie space when there's such a big kind of just transfer fee cost to get into it, just a tax basically. Anyway,
Right,
okay.
right. Mentioning Axie Tree, and you can move along, but mentioning Axie Tree brings one more interesting thing to Ronin coming out, and we're going to keep coming back to the Ronin piece of
Yep.
things
Yep.
all night. But you know, we want to see these different platforms, these different partners and programs succeed. We want to make sure that they're able to continue operating for years and are successful. And like he just said, cost right now is too high to list. It's too high to
Yeah,
to
lend
to
your
even
Axies. Yeah.
rent them off of there.
Yep.
Um, and once that hits Ronin, it's going to be a beautiful thing for them. But they need to hold tight. Um, and this is going to be for anybody who's trying to build stuff on top of ETH and in relation to Axie. But just another reason that we need we need Axies to hit Ronin pretty quick. It's good for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, SLP makes sense where it's at. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I always worry about things that just seem like pumps. But again, I feel like the value and the utility of SLP does exist. So even if it goes up double this, I still feel okay about SLP. Um, and I wouldn't be sad. All right. Woe, I like bringing up Woe because, again, origins are such a crucial component to Axie Infinity in my mind. Only 4,088 can ever exist. So origin Axies are extremely important. Um, this has kind of followed a path that I anticipated. And if you look at the Ethereum price, which is on this slide as well, in addition to the actual USD, you see that it actually improves its correlation to Ethereum, which also improves its correlation to Origin Axies for sale through the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
The Axie for sale, we'll see it, the floor on a qualifying Woe Origin Axie is 0.95. And it never has really made sense for me that there was such a big disparity between these numbers. The floor that we
Well, the
see,
disparity is liquid. The disparity is liquidity.
yeah, to access the
If you
liquidity.
pull out of here, right. If you pull, if you buy a WoW token and convert it into a Origin, you don't know when you're going to make that next sale.
Right. That makes sense. Yep.
So there's a little bit of a differentiation in price because you kind of have to make up for lost money,
Right. Right. For the liquidity, it makes sense that you're
for
gonna.
lost time, lost ETH movement, price movement, that sort of thing.
Correct. Yeah, but when we see these origins become even more important, I mean, I again, like I told you, I was looking at those hash masks, and I was kind of about ready to pull the trigger, just thinking, well, why not? Maybe give it a shot. But then I thought, man, there's an origin Axie here for zero point 0.9. Why on earth would I do the hash masks when I feel confident in an Axie and what origin Axie's value are? And there's so many fewer origin Axies. What on earth am I even thinking looking at this? Anyway, yeah, so I'm 100% Axie.
It's a great question.
Right. So I didn't. I was.
We know. We know.
Yeah. Thanks. Hey, what's this? Did something happen this
It's not
week?
popping up yet for me.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Let's see. We'll wait for Enjoi to catch up with this.
Did something did happen. Now's a great time to talk about Cloud White's Cocaine Cowboy
Yes.
and its meteoric rise. I always want to say fancy words and use colorful language, and it always comes out terribly. Yeah, no, let me interrupt because I don't know when else we'll be able to fit this in. But this was insane. Big props to Cloud White. Cocaine Cowboy is sharded on Niftex if you guys aren't in the know, and there's 10,000 shards, I believe. It went up this week from $3 to $94 a shard. That brings it up to like almost
Wow.
$1 million valuation, $940,000. So what does that equal? Like 700 ETH or something like that?
Incredible.
This origin white meme Axie, it's just insane. It was higher than all the Agamo Genesis Axies. Like, my God. And obviously it can't. Well, I'm not going to speak because maybe it can hold that sort of value, but
it's so
come
hard
down.
to know, man. I mean,
dude,
gal, uni,
it's
who would have
just
thought?
so insane.
Yeah, dude. There's so many things that just happen so crazy. Like, yeah, it's so cool. And I'm so glad for Cloud and everybody who holds Coke. That's so awesome. So.
And I was talking to him beforehand because I'm trying to figure out why this even happened. I couldn't quite place it. And he kind of made a statement that they're looking at it like the new Doge. They're looking at it as a meme token, and that's what he's trying to foster. So
that's awesome.
It just got caught up in the whole GameStop Doge hype, all that stuff. Anyways, on to Ronin, on to the main part of the evening.
So Ronin, I mean, I guess in case you didn't hear, the Ronin wallet dropped. Jiho had said something about how there was this kind of hidden spoiler in his video that he put out about that it turned out that wasn't necessary to, right, with the pulling your loom ETH out. Anyway, It was pretty funny, but a few people, AK seems to be the one that ends up being my supplier half the time of information that I'm missing. He pointed out pretty quickly the little R up there in the corner of Jiho's desktop, and it looks like it was. And a couple people, and I think Odin said he wasn't going to be able to do much other than lurk today, but Odin found the sucker on Google way early. Did you find it? I found it, but I found it later after I was kind of tipped off. But did you find it early?
In the extensions?
Yeah, in the Chrome extensions.
Listen, I just want to point out that I went way off on a limb, completely out of line. Psychout could have banned me from the channel forever for claiming that they're definitely launching the day after Axie Chat. And they didn't, and it was heartbreaking. And I felt like a liar and a poser. And you know what? Come to tell you, that extension was launched the next day. It was on the market the day after, and I swear to God, they're just fucking with us. They're just messing with us, dude.
I know, it's killer. So that it actually did. I think AK says it was the day before, but I think it was actually right after.
It was the day after. It was 6 days ago. So
it was killer, man. So they did it. They did it literally the day after the extension was available on Chrome. It's so hilarious, but none of us even knew because they didn't make an announcement. They didn't do anything, but there it was. It was actually sitting there. Yeah, so incredible. And I know because they didn't announce it, they didn't say anything. I think some people saw it and didn't know for sure if it was okay. Other people were sworn to secrecy that did discover it and asked about it. So, yeah, I love it. Troll us all you want, just get things released. That's wonderful. Go for it.
And I
So
just want to say, I, I'm always right. My honor is restored. You guys listen to me next time, and I'm going to tell you when Woe's going to pump, and I'm going to tell you when Ronan's dropping. So I got your back.
Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Anyway, yeah, I'm so excited though. I mean, so that things changed for me. I was a little sad about that it didn't hit the roadmap the way it looked like it was going to. But things changed for me when the testnet came out, and I saw, and I missed it again, that they actually had populated land items and land as a test on the test chain, and they did it a couple times, and so I've been way, way better about just saying, hey, you know what? The team has all the best interests in mind. We just got to kind of be patient because when it comes out, it's freaking awesome. And yeah, we'll talk more about some of the developments here, but just great announcement stuff. Love to see what I saw on Twitter. Jiho's put together this series of tweets, and whether you saw it or not, I think it's worth looking at kind of the information that came out. This exponential growth. We've talked about this quite a bit, but this is absolutely huge. And 8 times in our player base over the course of last year. As well as I, when we see people coming into our Discord, how many people aren't even coming into Discord that really just want to do this Axie thing? They're looking at YouTubes, Kagis, and whoever's doing YouTubes and stuff out there. Rolling was starting to do some YouTubes. We're getting more people getting involved, Cuckoo, all the different people doing that. How many people are watching these going, how do I do this thing? And they don't even come to our Discord. And they would have just bought some Axies and started doing it. But we see all of them that
Right.
do come into our Discord, that want to do it. We see the scholars thing just rolling and rolling. Like I said, I offered a few scholarship accounts, and man, you should have seen my DMs. Oh my goodness.
And you know what? This is why I keep saying we can't keep relying on Discord. It's a great source, but we need to keep meeting people where they already live.
Yep.
And I know I've seen
Credit
some people
cards.
jumping
Yep.
in, the credit cards thing. Um, but
No,
I know I've
I
seen
mean to
some people
buy
start
Axies.
to,
We need to
oh
let people
yeah,
just.
well,
Yep.
and you jump past the point back when we were talking about Ronan a second ago that I want to bring up. But I've seen people in Reddit trying to populate that and help people out because right now people are asking questions and they're not getting answers. I know we've got a Facebook page. We should have a forum out there. I really got to put that up.
Yeah.
Um, we've got a Telegram. But the point is if people are asking questions and nobody's answering them in a reasonable time, we're losing potential future Lunasians. We're losing, player base.
Yep.
So if you guys want to figure out how you can help the community, just go out and answer questions because I mean we're all experts at this point.
Yep.
KG's on YouTube pumping out content. I just mentioned that because he's freaking in chat all the time.
We
But
love Kagi, man.
the more we can put out there, the more we can reach people. It's just going to help because a lot of these people are getting they're getting confused with the crypto side of things. They're getting confused, just getting oriented because nothing really tells you that you need 3 Axies
Right.
until you download it, and even then, it's still a little confusing. So, just a
And
thought.
I love
The
shouting
other,
people
the
out,
other,
but I miss people. But like VZ and others, and
I know,
Ed's doing so much for the community too, his newsletter and everything, the Chimera Tribune. Like, I just and I mean freaking Odin in all of the modding he does for our Discord and everything too. Like Brit, binary,
sure.
golly. I mean, you could go on and on, on and on and on. But just wanted to point those things out and kind of just acknowledge what Landfill just said in the chat, and that is like, if you have friends and people who are interested in it, it is almost hard. Kind of your point, Enjoi, to not tell them, well, just you got to wait, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, do you come back if you've been told to wait? I don't know, but it is what it is.
Right. Right. But listen, real quick before you talk about the rocket ship taking off to the moon. one last thing about Ronin, and I'm not sure if you had another slide talking about this too, but um, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this in the Chrome web store, the
Extension.
extension store,
Yeah.
in the overview, one of the last item, use Ronin wallet to manage your digital identity, send transactions without paying gas, buy ETH
Yeah.
access with credit card.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah. It's
seriously the
huge.
most important point of this whole thing. Not even moving off of the chain. This is lowering the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Um, Absolutely massive to helping out adoption.
Absolutely. Just the adoption that's going to happen with Ronin is going to be amazing. I'm hoping that we get everybody back, but I'm not worried about that because I know there's going to be a huge demand, and I believe in this thing so much. When we get real land, when we get real things that can happen, that I'm super excited. We have our the picture of our very first vehicle, and like, what are vehicles going to do for us in land? How is that going to be? Is it just going to be a speed increase, or is it actually going to be a vehicle that you can enter into and move around on the map? Or vehicles, there's just so many things that are to come, and every one of those things comes with resources and materials and potential tokens that can all be handled on the Ronin chain in massive transactions with virtually no cost. So we're just in a great situation. Things are just headed totally in the right direction. Again, like, I know that most of the people hanging out with us, and we love them, you're all part of the Axie family. But if you're listening, trying to find out what's going on, if you're listening on a replay, or you're listening on the podcast, or wherever you're listening, like, you got to remember, we're it's still early. Until we hit that Ronin with
Super early.
mass, it's super early. Until we hit that Ronin with mass adoption, like, it's hard to know where things are going to go. But we're still pre ICO or IPO or whatever word you want to use. We're so
You,
freaking
you know what
early.
I was You know what I was thinking, and real quick, I want to correct you about this vehicle, because it does say in the Ronin announcement, as an incentive for migrating early, we've created a special limited edition land item for the migration. So I'm not sure that that's a vehicle or if it's just another thing to sit on your plot, maybe give you a speed bonus or something like that.
Right.
But just a correction there. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's not. They don't
yeah,
call it
you
a
you
vehicle, but it sure as heck looks like a vehicle. But
It,
yeah, I know what you're
oh,
saying.
I mean, it's definitely a vehicle. If my Axie can't sit in there, I'm gonna be mad. Um,
You bring it out
but
with
but
bring it
you're
up with
talking
psych
about
out.
still you're talking about still being early, and I remember back during the first land sale, they fudged the launch, and they gave out those Chimera plushies as a reward for being patient. So only 213 or whatever were minted. Um, Now, the interesting thing about this, and you got to look at the price of the Chimeras, is they're a little over an ETH right now. I saw one get bought up the other day. So definitely a nice reward for being early. Here's the thing about this is, we saw the Aave land item, promotion, and there were, how many of those were minted? A
Golf
couple
a
thousand?
bunch, yeah, yeah, surprising amount.
A bunch. So price has been held down because there's a lot of them. Everybody has them because all you needed to do is hold some Aave.
Yeah,
Um, the interesting thing about this one is you needed to hold some land or items before everybody started moving over to Ronin, and
right.
there still
AK's
weren't
right. It
a
was about
ton of
five
people
thousand.
who,
There were a ton of them. Yeah, 5,000, I think.
yeah. So exactly. But my point is you still needed to have land or items to move this over, and I guess. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's not as relevant because there's 5,000 people who have those Aave items to move over, so they would technically get this. But you know what? I guess that just keeps people engaged and involved and looking forward to getting more things. It's like staking your token already. If you own something, right? They're going to keep giving you airdrops, and this is our next airdrop for being part of this thing.
Yeah,
Did any of that make sense?
it made great sense. Yeah, and I'm paying attention to the chat. There's lots of good stuff happening. Just everybody. I mean, it's just such great excitement just across the board, man. So yeah, I'm excited about this new land item. It's a great thing, But before we're going to talk more about Ronan, no question. But again, we got to cover some other stuff too because there's lots of stuff to talk about. Um, a couple of things where this just barely happened. I just saw this pop up on the Axie sales bot just a little bit before I was finishing getting all the slides and stuff ready. So what we're seeing here
Hey,
on the slide is an OpenSeas bundle that's sold for 30 Ethereum. So
nice.
$41,000 USD right now. Pretty cool. I looked at it. It looked like it was comprised of some Mystic Axies. I think there were 3 of them that were in. Was it only 30 die? AK.
No,
So
it says $41,000
yeah, I know that
US.
is it was the bot wrong. Maybe the bot was wrong here. But anyway, I saw it and I was like, holy crap, that's 41K. That's a big purchase. So maybe that's a bug, but regardless, there were some giant purchases that we already know were for real. And basically, the floor for double mystics just got cleared. So this
Well,
happened on the
did do you
yeah
do
yeah
you
go.
have the screenshot I sent you? You do have that in here?
I don't know which one.
No?
I don't know.
Well, Flying Falcon, you may remember him from a couple Genesis buys and a
Yeah
couple
yeah
Mystic buys last week. I mean, he scooped the entire Mystic floor, singles, doubles,
yeah yeah yeah
and he bought one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 Mystics in
singles.
a row.
Yeah.
Some of those were doubles. There were
Yeah,
3
I think
doubles
these
there.
are all the doubles.
Um,
Yeah. So the slide I have up are all the
okay,
doubles that he picked up. Yeah, it was incredible, man. I mean, when you total these up, it's like over 75 Ethereum. So yeah, commitment, excitement, going after the great stuff. These rare item or rare Mystic Axies, beautiful, beautiful things. So yeah, so cool. So yeah, it sounds like there was a bug in the Axie sales spot. It was only a sale for like $30. So it was the opposite.
just so
Somebody was selling
freaking.
something super
I mean,
cheap.
listen, that's even more amazing. I would have scooped that thing up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, at that price, it's worth paying ridiculous gas because, well, I mean,
Right.
you still have to pay it for each Axie, which is frustrating. But yeah, still, that's super cheap. $10 each. Wow, that's a whole team of land dwellers, man. Regardless.
Right.
Okay. Waxy happened. Waxy 3. Just shout out to Chief and AXSCB. So cool. Those guys are so awesome. Love everything that they're doing for the tournament scene. And golly, our favorite Brit does it again. And when I say Brit,
Oh my God.
I'm not talking about our favorite Brit. We're talking about our favorite Englishman.
Is is that way Indus has been all cocky again recently?
Yeah. Did you not know?
Is that why he was going off this morning? No, I wasn't around at all this week and I missed it
Oh
entirely.
yeah, dude.
But that makes I should have known just based off of his attitude in chat.
He gets cocky when he, but man, I think he's won 2 of these, right? So he's won 2 of the
Yeah,
3.
he won 2.0 as well.
so so Indus does incredible again. Way to go, Indus. So awesome. And speaking of the Axie, rolling boy with ones instead of L's, he's doing some new content and did a finals highlight. So if you don't have time to go through and figure everything out, thanks rolling boy for getting that together. It's so awesome. And yeah, Indus, congrats, man. Way to go. So cool. Um, all right. Just got to remind everybody that there is still a breeding challenge that's taking place, and
Oh, you got another month, everybody.
you only have to the end of this month to get it done. So,
Listen. I'm gonna sweeten the pot. I mean, not only
oh,
has Axis gone up a little bit, but if someone does the breed, I'll do another episode
oh my
in
gosh,
dressed all dressed up.
wow,
So I
that's
know everybody's
actually
excited
adding a
for that.
lot to the pot.
That's more than the
Golly,
pot at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the pot is worth a lot, man. Holy crap. 200 basically $250, but by the end of this month it should be probably 2,500 bucks. Access should probably be about $10 per, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, imagine. That'd be
Well,
awesome.
you're the one that knows, so you're the one that has to say. You just
I'll let
said.
you know when I know.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right.
Good. Okay, so hey, let's talk about the marketplace. Kind of a weird
All
time.
right.
Uh, just terrible things happening with Ethereum.
Terrible.
Just horrible, horrible things happening with Ethereum. It's over 1,500 all-time highs. Just incredible things. It sounds like lots of people are talking about what the trends are saying, and the articles I'm reading are saying that there's just great support for Ethereum up to 2K and beyond. So just a horrible time to be involved with assets that are on the Ethereum chain and linked to Ethereum. Just terrible. So yeah, wonderful news for everybody. Um, I noticed that Henry's tool's still working, so okay. So if you ever feel like checking out kind of where things stand as far as floor comparisons, Henry's tool is just so awesome for that. You look at your account calculator and maybe things are going pretty good for Axie. I don't know. You ought to just check it out when you get a chance. So um, I grayed out the current ones because we can't do anything with the market right now. But Henry still did pull up the floors for me. His tool did, so I know what the floors are, even though we're waiting for Ronin to be implemented so that we can actually do more transactions.
Interesting.
But the floor here still went up. Um, either stayed the same or went up. Savannah went up significantly. Forest stayed about the same. Mystic stayed about the same. Arctic increased significantly as well. So great stuff happening. I didn't pull the specific sales, but there were a ton actually. There were quite a few land sales over this last week, kind of across the board in the different types of land. There were a few sales right before Ronan took Loom offline. Um, the team, I guess, took Loom offline, and a few kind of last second sales there. It's interesting. I don't know where things stand for everybody, but people who don't have land and land items, maybe I made a mistake in migrating everything. Like they probably are wanting to get that land item. There might be a little market right now for people just picking up a land item so they can migrate it over. So if you still have stuff on Loom, maybe I don't know. Think about that. Why not?
In a way, the Ronin launch was terrible timing because the land marketplace was just starting to keep back up. We were starting to see some kind of out of the normal ballpark prices and sales, and I saw an Arctic plot get sold for like 1.5 or something like that. So we
Yep.
were we were really starting to get back up to old prices,
Yeah, and there's a
and it put a little bit of
1.25.
damper. But
Yeah.
yeah,
There.
maybe some of that pent up demand will just blast off once we can start trading again.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll see what happens. My view on this still, and of course you and I are super bullish on Axie, but my view on this is I've said it, and I think I've been right still, even though we've seen prices retrace a little bit. But that's been the Ethereum price. In USD, I don't think that we've seen prices get lower than they were, even when we had Arctic selling, for example, closer to 1.5. That was back when Ethereum was at the max 600. So now we're more than double that
Yep.
in Ethereum value. So actually, land still hasn't got cheaper in terms of USD. It's and
Right.
I don't expect it to to ever be cheaper ever again.
Yeah, I think we hit a solid floor. I don't see people dropping anymore. Um, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait till Ronin hits, till the trading starts.
Yep.
We'll see what
Oh, hey,
happens. But
is
go
Loom
ahead.
frozen entirely? I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. So maybe you can't even transfer land items on Loom at all right now. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe only migration can happen. So, that would actually be good in my opinion, because then it kind of locks in who had land and land items to get the new land item. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I already migrated. All right. So this was the floor that I was able to pull off Henry's. Genesis is 150. Where it was 101, but D, otherwise known as Small Brown Doge, he put his bottom Genesis up to 150. So I'm really
Smart
interested to
man.
see what's gonna come with Genesis. I just have this feeling like, you saw Delphi pick up a bunch of mystics, high value mystics. I just don't see how big corporate folks aren't gonna want to take a crack at Genesis land. There's only 775 of them. Only ever will be 220 of them. I think that's just a matter of time. Items. I
Dude,
wanted to
it's
make
gonna
sure.
be like I was just gonna say we're gonna enter serious lottery mode during the next land sale when people start picking
Oh
up
man.
150 ETH Genesis plots. It's gonna be insane.
And see, that's the thing. Like, just the value of Genesis is going to drive what people will pay with the chest prices if they use chests or however they decide to do it.
That's dude, that is a great point.
Yep.
That's gonna drive land volume all. Oh my God, I can't talk at all.
You know.
Values are gonna go up. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways,
No, I mean, you're right, though. I mean, it does have an effect, and if people want to get that pop off that Genesis, if they do that way again, where it's a random chance, which makes sense that they would, you're going to have even more demand in the next phases, and it's just not. Yeah. Anyway, Odin said it in chat, and that's what I was going to point out here. Mystic at 0.44, I just think it's getting to the point where it's kind of stupid cheap for Mystic items. I know you have your share of them, Enjoi. I probably need to pick up a few more. But I saw an aquatic plush for like zero point 0.3, and I am still kicking myself. I don't know why I didn't grab that. That was
oh
just,
yeah, that's instant grab. And
yeah.
and to correct you again, Odin says they're fucking stupid cheap.
Oh,
I
okay,
just,
right.
we got to put the emphasis in there. Very important.
Well, if you're talking like Odin, then you have to say it even differently, right? I tried. It was a good effort. Anyway, just wanted to give the floor prices for the items. Um, good stuff here. Rares. I've always, still though I think these prices are ridiculous, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think that's your second impersonation tonight.
Are you
We're really
serious? I did
degenerates.
another
We're
one.
moving down. Yeah, I
Oh
think you
wow.
did one for Indus earlier too.
Yeah. Anyway.
And maybe when you said football too. Are we on three? I'm gonna get a little counter for the
Oh,
top right corner.
oh no. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a counter of baronar impressions.
It's
Like it.
gonna say baronar insulting another culture.
Well, that's it'll just
Three.
keep on rolling and rolling and rolling. Probably. I don't know. I love the world. The world is a wonderful place. All right, man. We got off track. Okay, here's the floors. Thanks, Axie World. That's another one. Like the Axie sales bot, even if it screws up and counts DAI as Ethereum, we still love it, and we're still very grateful to Coco and Owl and everybody who's involved with those projects. So thank you. Really nice to have Axie World providing the floors here for the Axies. Floor for normal Axies has really increased actually. We know people can't barely list anything, so I think people are just trying to grab the lowest they can. But yeah, good stuff here. Mystics. Let's see. Is Indus saying it's hot because that one's Indus on the floor? Probably. I know he picked one up at a good price and then relisted it. So maybe that's this is Mystic on the floor with the winter branch. Um, but the Origin, I like that Origin actually. I think that that's a fun aqua. Has a couple of aqua parts. I don't know. I like that Origin. Again, we saw the
Yeah.
woe token, so not far off. Like only zero point 0.1 difference between the woe token and the bottom Origin. Yeah, double mystics got swept, we know, and so that's up to almost 30 ETH for a double.
How many of those are left right now?
Doubles?
I'm always curious to see what the actual float is left on these things. Yeah, there's looks like 79 up
Yeah.
for sale currently.
But some of
But
them are at
honestly,
prices
the
that they're not really. Yeah.
right. I mean, you're looking at maybe 15 until you're at 50 ETH, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, the floors look good. Actually looks strong. We just need to be able to actually do some of these transactions and let people get involved a little bit easier. You know, one of the things for a whale coming in, I would definitely say that Flying Flamingo with his purchases is a whale level. You know, the gas fees are not so important. What's more important is the acquisition of the assets. So they're willing to spend gas. At the time he did it, though, I think gas was still a little bit more legitimate, like a third or even less than a third of what it is right now. So good for him, man. That's so awesome.
I mean, realistically, when you're making big purchases like that, it's such a small percentage of the overall sale.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
It's the point oh 0.04 ETH floor axes that it kills.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's go ahead and let's talk about a little bit more details about. I mean, honestly, what do you think we were going to talk about today? So Ronin, I pulled this up, and I don't know if this was brand new. I hadn't seen it before, but I actually went into my inventory, and if you look at this next slide, for those that are listening, I just pulled up one of my land plots and one of my land items, and you know it specifically shows the Ronin address on these now. That was freaking exciting for me to see that on the dashboard. So Ronin is right now.
Mm.
The Ronin actual addresses are listed on our items. This is incredible, folks. I mean, this means that Ronin implementation for the marketplace is really close, I believe. Like if they
Like
have
tomorrow, close.
like
I'm just
exact
gonna go out of my. I'm just gonna go out. I'm just gonna go out of my branch with my newfound trust that I've earned today, and say it's we're gonna get it tomorrow, maybe the next day at the latest. Just
so
just saying, just saying.
so we heard it from Enjoi, so we know it's for sure,
I,
100%.
I prefer the Oracle. Changing my name.
I like it's just the Oracle. Okay, so the Oracle has spoken, and tomorrow we'll have the marketplace back for land and land items. I don't know if that's true, but he's been right before, folks. So we'll see if the Oracle is right again. But what my point is, like, you look also. I pulled that from the dashboard, the bottom portion here where it says zero wrapped Ethereum, and that is my Ronin address as well. And so that's implemented up in the top as well. So you can't actually wrap Ethereum right now. That's not allowed. But this stuff is on our dashboards, y'all. It's freaking awesome. So it's going to be soon, I
Now I'm
believe.
I'm looking at my dashboard. I'm looking at my dashboard right now, and I can't get to any land or items.
So
You
it's
can
kind of
you can
tricky.
access your land and items.
It's kind of
Oh,
tricky.
you actually pasted in the addresses.
It's kind of tricky. So you have to go to your account. Go to your account, so over on the right where it says My Account.
Mm-hmm.
Click it, and then go hit your inventory. And about one out of every two times, it comes up. So it's.
I
I
got it
think they.
first time. I'm just stupid. Guys,
No,
you
no.
can take away my Oracle name. It's over.
No, no, it's
My time in the sun is over.
I think that it's kind of like it's kind of blocked, but not like real seriously. So you can still kind of access it. But every now and then, like when you refresh, it says that it's coming soon. So it's there, but maybe they're. So I guess my point is maybe they're even trying to make us think that they're further away from some of this stuff than they actually are. Anyway, when I saw this, and now you're seeing it, right? I'm not making it up.
Yep,
Yep.
it's true.
So this stuff is happening, folks. Another thing is you go up to the sell button. I think somebody in chat actually asked that, and it gives you a little dialogue prompt that says that the action will be available soon. We know what soon
Like
means to
tomorrow.
Jiho, but okay, so what we know what soon means to the Oracle, and so, so the Oracle says tomorrow. So so that's good. That will be really good. I also wanted to pull out just from the Explorer showing the land item address and the land addresses there for the contracts. And guys, this is just great, exciting stuff. And gals, I this is happening. Again, if you have been or were on the fence about like where things are going, the team is working their asses off and stuff is happening. This is just incredible. So I don't know. Is there a lot
Hey,
more to say
question.
about this?
Question.
Yeah, go.
Do you think that the old marketplace listings and bids are all going to be active the second they hit the button?
Boy, if they are, maybe I should be getting ready and paying attention. I don't know. I delisted all of mine
Well,
just because I didn't want to have any issues there.
the my question is are the people who jump in first going to be setting the new floor? And will the new floor reflect the old floor at all? Or when there's nothing to go off of, when you're not trying to compete with other people, does that new floor trend higher? I think if they don't carry over those previous listings, we're going to see a lot um, more of a natural. Uh, I don't know. I think that the pricing will reflect a lot more what me and you think it should be, rather than what it was a couple weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that if people are paying attention, that now this is proof. Ronin is proof that the team is implementing these things. The Ronin wallet shows that this stuff is happening. That it's all on its way. And to me, that's what all this says. Like this is a real new technology. This is existing. So if you had any worries about Axie being something that was going to for sure happen, this has just shown you that yes, 100% they're doing this. Sky Mavis has created this wallet. They're serious about making sure that these things get implemented. So to me, that ought to drive a whole lot of confidence in this project. And so, yeah, I mean, if they don't change things and if people are paying attention and just wondering, those things that they want to wait. I mean, I do. I sometimes wait for things like, for some reason, Axie wasn't one that I wanted to wait on, but other things like I've waited. I've waited to see how the implementation goes before I get excited about jumping in. And DeFi is like that for me. Like, um,
I mean, let's look back and look at how much growth we actually had in the last 3 months, the last quarter of last year. We grew from like 6,000 wallets to like 26,000 wallets. Insane,
yeah,
insane amount of growth.
yep,
And the only reason, literally the only reason that that didn't continue, there's
gas.
no functional reason with Axie.
Nope,
I mean, the marketing was on point, like we were bringing in people like crazy. It's just the gas. Ronin is literally the only thing that's standing in the way of that insane growth again. And once that insane growth again happens, and we start getting some little whiffs of land coming out, um, I mean, pricing I think is just going to start shooting up again because
yep,
listen, land isn't, and another thing that we haven't even discussed is we've still got Battles V2 that's coming right out. That
yep.
that completely fell off the radar because we're
Quarter
all
one.
waiting for Ronin.
Yep,
We've got the next Ronin thing. We've got staking coming up. Um, but a really important thing about land too is I I, I think that level two parts will probably wait for land because the
Mm,
coolest thing about level two parts is seeing your neighbor's axes waddling around and being like,
yeah,
well, which one's that?
yeah,
And
yeah. That is a big part for
and
sure.
and and seeing how all these things come together and one playing field is really going to sell it for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Plus, if upgraded parts come out with land, highly likely to be tied to some token that comes from land, um, something that is generated off of land, maybe multiple things. Because I've thought about this a lot. You look at the different parts that the Axies have, and they tend to be things that you could acquire, shells or different plants or different furs that maybe could come from chimera or different things like that. So all these things seem very reasonably generated from land and land play, and I would expect that you're probably right on that it's going to be something maybe like that. And when that happens, it's going to be hard not to want that double cactus uh, horn part rather than just the normal one. You want to have the cool one, you want to have the neat one, and then you want the one that's
Right.
gilded in you know golden thorns or whatever.
It, it's a whole nother level of FOMO, and that FOMO just circulates through the economy.
Yeah, dude. I just the coolest thing for me about this Ronin thing is it's just it was implemented so well, so smoothly for me. I know some people, it took a little while to have things transfer over, and I don't fully understand that. I'm sure the team's learning from it, but for me, it was just like so smooth, so slick, so incredibly easy. I'm just I'm just like, man, I cannot wait to have Axies on Ronin, man. I'm just chomping at the bit. But on the other hand, like all of these things, where do they lead back? Where does the path lead back? Ultimately, it's the play to earn concept, and a lot of that relates to Axis, and being able to, we talk about dust and different things. Ronin makes dust easier to deal with for sure. So I mean that's a big
Right.
part of the Ronin chain.
Well, it makes it worthwhile to sweep off the ground and into your wallet, right? I
Exactly.
mean, right now I've got, half of a die sitting in my
Right.
sitting in my well, the old wallet, I guess. I never claimed it.
Right.
Just didn't make
On the
sense. So,
dashboard or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I wish I would have left some
Yeah.
of my stuff that I did when gas was low claim. It would have been better to just leave it, I think, sitting in my dashboard wallet at the time. But again, we don't know how things are going to wrap over and how all that stuff's going to happen. But what this all does, in my view, is it just makes everything that much more real. And then ultimately, again, this leads back to Axis. And I just put Moon here because I don't even know what that is. I threw out $10 just a bit ago, but you look at some of the DeFi projects that have staking and minting, and let you generate different tokens and have different types of returns. And some of those tokens, particularly Aave, which is a pretty good example. It does a lot more though than what the Axie thing has in mind, but maybe not. When you include play to earn and you include all the different implementations for the Axis token, like what happens when you can stake your Axis at Aave, which is highly likely. What if there's multiple places to stake your Axis tokens and you have to choose, you know, where you want to have them staked? Dude,
Yeah.
it's there are so many different things that can happen with this token. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, Brookhawk, you said just 10. I just was throwing that out by the end of this month. uh, so yeah, I am very very bullish. I don't know what that means. Like again, we were buying Aave initially at what, $33 USD, and now it's at what, almost 300. I know it's super high.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Axie causes everything to pump. It's just how it works.
It's incredible. Yet
Every
another one that I couldn't wait to get out of my Aave token. But man, what a dumb move. I should have just held everything, right? Wow, crazy, crazy. So, who says somebody said staking Axis won't bring you more NFTs, and that's not correct. They've said that there are going to be special NFTs that are rewards for staking, possibly on a weekly basis. Just again, go to the white paper and read through it. So, the reason I have this up and I'm talking about this in terms of Ronin is because we are getting closer and closer to the Axis tokenomics actually being implemented and things happening. So it's just amazing. Jiho put in his Twitter. He tweeted something about when
twitted.
when something about when people are going to be able to develop, and I'm assuming in the SDK, like real time strategy games and stuff like that. And so again, it's just like it's just it's just it's just such a more robust potential environment, universe, application, platform, whatever word you want to use. Axie Infinity has so much more potential than so many of the DeFi things that I see and so many of the projects that are coming out. And yeah, it's true, if you're going to get heavily invested into Axie Infinity, there's going to be a play to earn aspect that either you're going to have to manage or grind, like you said, which is maybe different than owning a hash mask, hash crash, hash, those beautiful works of art that
Those new
have value.
things. I'm just gonna keep letting you struggle.
um,
Hash masks.
yeah.
I
So,
just had to see if I could say it.
but my point is again, like I'm so excited for the robustness of Axie. Nobody's going to change my mind. I believe in the team. I think great things are coming, and even outside of the team, you look at what Coco's done so far, and as far as I can tell, yeah, Coco dabbles in other things, which is awesome. But as far as I can tell, his heart's in Axie too. And you see what he's done with the token and different things that he's done, the little games, side games, and stuff. I just think even outside of the team, there's going to be just amazing things that take place. And Ronin is basically, the key to unlocking all that stuff happening. Again, like once Ronin is released and there's access to the Ronin chain and things can be handled that way, what stops developers from competing with Sky Mavis? To start utilizing assets that are on the Ronin chain if it's accessible. And I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but from what I understand, it's pretty robust that way, and lots of people will have the ability to do things on the Ronin chain. So so exciting, such an incredible time. The release of Ronin to me has just quadrupled, quintupled, 10 times, 100 times my confidence and excitement in this project. And again, like I have to like physically restrain myself. It's kind of a good thing that right now you can't do anything as far as purchasing land and land items. Because I worry, what I might do. Anyway,
I think next week we need that new land vehicle sitting on top of the moon. Just a little to-do list for you.
all right. Well, so you've all been waiting. This is, I know, why you hung out this whole time, just waiting for the next hashtag, right?
Oh my God.
Hey, feels good, man. Feels good February. And
Feels
honest,
good February.
so feels good February works for
See,
me.
this is how you guys know I wasn't involved in the planning today. This is exactly how you know. It feels good so far. There's still a lot to come, dude. I'm telling you,
I'm so happy
we're
with
almost
February.
halfway through.
I don't even
We're almost
care.
halfway through the quarter. we're
Yeah.
halfway through the quarter, and Q1 they say landed items migrated, Axies migrated, Axie Battle Beta. We still have a lot to go.
Yeah. Dude,
It's coming.
there's so much and honestly like why did they delay just here on speculation before we wrap up? Why did they delay the season? Because to me, it doesn't seem like Ronan has anything to do with the battle game. What do you think?
Hmm.
Or tell me how it
Hmm.
relates, and then maybe I'll understand.
I don't I don't think it does unless they launch something crazy this week, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to buy their time because they've got time. They've got 2 months left for a few more updates. Um, I think it was just, again, they like to take advantage of their hype and making the most out of every announcement. So it makes sense that they'd spread things out a little bit. That's my take.
Yeah, and Jiho did say special plans. Is it just going to be balances though? Well, I mean, and again, like when he popped on with us, and I don't know if he's lurking or
Oh,
not or what. He popped on with us and said
oh,
something about something fun that we were going to be able to do. Um, I don't know, and
he did.
he did. He said that, but is it just to grab that little vehicle? That doesn't feel like
Hey,
something.
you guys
Oh,
can
that's
migrate
fun.
from one chain to the other. Whoopee.
Fun.
Um,
uh,
yeah, I'm just looking at the calendar here. If they push the start to the 8th, that
yeah,
means the next it would end on the 21st. Next season would start on the 8th, end on the 21st. I mean, they've
yeah.
got they've got 2 more seasons until the end of the year
Well,
or
they're
until the
they're
end of the
they're
quarter.
they're month long seasons now, 30-day seasons. So, um,
Oh, you're right.
yeah. So they only have one
You're right.
more in this quarter.
Hmm.
I mean, technically, the other one would
Wow.
end.
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Wow.
they do one more rebalance and run one more season. But I don't know. I mean, again, maybe V2's a little further off than they were hoping. Uh,
Or maybe they were just trying to time the season ending with the V2 becoming available. Maybe it's still a month out.
Oracle, gotta tell us, Oracle,
Hmm.
what you
All
got
right.
for
I'm gonna
us?
think about it next week.
Oh,
Next
okay.
week I got you.
All right. Well, something's supposed to happen on Monday, but you never know. You never know for sure what's going on. And
Nope, they're gonna push it to Wednesday morning.
of
Easy.
course, at least Wednesday morning. So anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I didn't want to go over the top this week because I knew we'd be talking a ton about Ronan. I There has been some just excellent news. A lot of the stuff though has been in the NFT space and not quite so much just specifically to Axie, other than Ronan, and some really cool purchases and stuff like that. So wanted to keep it relatively tight this week. I'm sure we'll have lots to cover next week, especially since V2 is coming out in between this Axie Chat and next Battles version 2, right? Oracle? Oracle? Yeah, he doesn't have it, man. He's confident about the marketplace, but I can tell he's
Lips are sealed. I'm not feeling it yet. I'm
he's
not
not
feeling it yet.
he's not feeling it. Okay. All right. Well, so anyway, great to hang out. Great to talk about this stuff. I can't be more pumped for what I see in the Ronin wallet. Again, we can't do a lot with it, but sure seems sound. Seems technically impressive. The chain itself seems to be operating just wonderfully. It looks like the validators are doing their job, generating blocks regularly, validating them. Everything looks real good. And I mean, the neat thing about all this is, guys, I mean, we're part of a universe that has actually implemented its own sidechain that it controls. Wow. Well, I mean, Sky Mavis controls it, but that's a huge leap in technology. It's a huge thing. Yeah, and I saw that there were some news sources that were talking about it, excited about Ronin. I will be interested to see if things like Sandbox and others jump into the Ronin chain, because it just seems like such a brilliant solution, that I expect that people are going to come, because when's ETH2 coming? ETH2 for AK. When's ETH2 coming? Enjoi Oracle.
Not answering that one either. You're
I think
stumping
it's
me
I
today.
think it's a year plus for sure. So like I
No,
think that
I was just thinking about. I think you make a good point though with Sandbox and Ronin. I mean, again, Sandbox is owned by Animoca Brands, who have their hand in Axie. If they see something that's going to massively um, help with their other projects, it makes sense for them to test it out or at least consider it. So,
yeah.
we could. And honestly, attention coming to Ronin, whether or not they're directly related to Axie, or whether or not Ronin directly relates to Axis price. Those news articles, all those people in these other games or other platforms coming over and utilizing something that is directly made by the Axie team, just helps us all too. So yeah, that's interesting to think about.
I like it. In Ronin. Yes, here we
All
go,
right, we're putting
guys.
a four up on the on the top.
Okay.
All right, guys,
Alrighty.
are we
Hey,
out?
yeah. Hey, thanks again. Axie hard, everybody. Peace. And go. Let's just hit this Ronin hard. I'm so excited. I'm excited for Oracle's promise of marketplace tomorrow. I've got all my life savings, just like buying GameStop at 400. I'm ready to go.
Let's
Just
go.
I am so kidding around. Axie is definitely, yeah. Anyway, have a great time. Hope you guys enjoy our banter, having a good time, and we'll see you guys all next Tuesday.
We're out. See you guys.
See y'all.